Hello there guys, welcome back to the e-bike repairs YouTube channel. My name's Darsh and I take apart and fix very fun stuff, normally electric bike batteries, motors, scooter parts, all that fun stuff, occasionally electric car stuff, it's all very exciting. What I've got in today is this is a Storm 2 Liquid, a rechargeable lithium ion battery. 6.4 amp hour, 14.6 volts. I'm not going to try and say that, but that's what that says. Inside we've got Samsung 32E cells, hopefully you can read that just. Some more info here. It does things, it's very exciting. You can read all that, I'm assuming, if you pause. On this end we've got some ports. We've got our DC in and out, USB-C in and out, USB-C 2 and out, and USB-C A out. That side, nothing exciting, and yeah, on this side there's a super fun screen. So if I unplug the charger from the what I'm using to record and I plug that into there, hopefully, hello? That's not the in, it's the out. That's the in, there you go, look. Energy Storage Management OS. And you can see, I think this is at 82%. There you go, look, battery voltage. We've got ones stuck at 1.3 volts, 4.1, 4.1, 4.1. And whilst it would appear to charge up, at 1.4, 1.452, don't know how well you can see that tiny text. 1.5, if you leave it for long enough, it does charge up. But, having discharged the cells down to 1 volt, basically, it isn't happy and they just die really quickly. So you take that out and it turns off and doesn't work. There's probably a way to turn it on without that being plugged in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something like that. But the customer wants me to replace all the cells. This thing was quite expensive. I think he said it was best part of £200. If I check out Storm 2 Liquid. Storm 2 Liquid Power Bank, here we go. And this is this the 100 watt version? Probably. Yeah, $150 from Shargeek. Oh, look, there's my face. Hello. There you go. £119 currently, but I think he paid more for that when it was original. Yeah. Oh no. Spam. But anyway, that's what it is. I don't know how to turn it on, but we'll get to that. It wants the cells replacing, as far as all of us are aware. So, to get into it, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 little screw holes. So, what have we got here? We've got Torx bits by the looks of it, or are they Allens? It might be a very small Allen. Allen! Let's have a look, shall we? What have I got in terms of very small Allen? That's too big. What's this one? Do you look at that? Very small Allen. That's one of those. That's 2 of those. That's 3 of those. And then that's 4 of those. I don't even need a power tool. Do it all by hand. 1, 2, 3. You don't want to come out now. Oh, there's 4. Teeny tiny little screws they are. I can even show you those. Just like that. I dread to think what they are. Very small. Is all I know. Ooh, a phone call. Would you believe it? Someone's got a broken bicycle. Very exciting. Right, so we got those 4 screws out. How does this come off? Oh, there you go. Look, the end cap comes off. It's not water damaged. It's an aluminium end cap, that feels like. Could be magnesium, but it's probably aluminium, let's be honest. And then, I'm guessing... Nope, that doesn't just come out. Okay. Be too easy, wouldn't it? Ooh, reset button. What does that do? Nothing. Why don't you come out? You feel like you're loose. This end cover's kind of loose. Not that loose. Are you stuck on? I think you're just the USB port's attached to there. Do you all push out that way, maybe? Ah, I wonder if that's it. What holds you in? Let me do some tapping and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've watched a very helpful video someone's put on YouTube. It was this video here by Mockerboy RC and Shargeek Storm 2 100 watt teardown and repair. And he tells you, to get this out, you've got to pop out this part here and this part here. And you need some little screwdrivers or picks or something. And you've got to lever this out like that. And apparently that works. So let's try and see if I can do this without scratching it. Great, that's a good start. I might need something a lot smaller. This is much too big. I've scratched it already. I'm going to do this for free for the bloke because he's had a different battery resold, and I feel like it's just interesting, you know. What have I got? Micro screwdriver wires. Got this little set here, AliExpress special, and that contains hopefully tiny flat blade. What do you look? A tiny flat blade there, and another tiny flat blade there. So there should be something I can do here. I mean, I'm going to try and repair it for free. I can't promise that I can, but. There's one. There you go. That piece comes out. And then with this, apparently you need more than one little screwdriver because it's going to keep popping in and out. So that part comes out. Like that. Then you might need to get another one in there and lever that bit. Stop it falling back in. How far is this going to fly across the room? I wonder. Oh, it's nearly that. There you go. And that there is that part out. Okay, so now it should just come out. Ah, look at that. He was right, it does just come out. There's our case. There's that. And other things have to come off, I guess, to get the cells out. So we're looking at, this board's going to have to come off the end here. I know, warranty void. As Tavares says, I am the warranty. And you know, don't work anyway, so shouldn't really matter too much, should it? I don't think. I hope anyway. Right, to get this off then, we need to get this board off here, which will involve desoldering these tabs, and that's an XT30, and then a little JST here, so I guess we pop the JST out there. That's probably a temp sensor, yeah, NTC, that says there. I guess we desolder some bits. Let's have a go with that soldering iron. Probably don't need this big one out anymore, that was for something else. Hang that up. Right. There's that piece there, whatever that is. And C-clips here. they want to come off yet before this board is off. You'd have thought that the plastic case would come off separately to the rest of it, but it might not. I'm just sort of digging around in here and I don't know what I'm looking at, so it's all a bit of an investigation. It feels like it's glued. It is, look, the cell pack is glued there. So if I got this loose and I were to apply some brake cleaner down in there, you could use isopropyl alcohol, but what I have on hand is brake cleaner. That should loosen up the glue in there. Stop that being attached. Yeah, look, that's coming off now. There we go. Cell pack is loose. Now, I wonder if I can get away with only undoing the connectors that are here to get this off, and I don't have to touch any of this, which I don't really want to touch because I'll just break it. Right, that's completely loose now. I believe I've got to desolder this. There's our negative tab and our positive tab here. Has this got no balancing? Unless these are the balance connectors here. Maybe that's it. I'm going to leave that plugged in actually. That one that I undid before. Let's have a go at just desoldering these, see where we get to. Go. There's that. And then, yeah, there's balancing, I think. Or at the very least, cell voltage monitoring, because otherwise how would it have known what voltage the cells were? So let's unplug that, which is for the voltage monitoring. And let's see where this temperature sensor goes. So we've got this is our double-sided tape up here. Okay. Don't really want to desolder this off the board if I can avoid. Oh look, just pull straight out. Easy peasy, look at that. So there's our bare chassis. That'll need a new piece of double-sided tape when I'm done to hold that in there. That's the board. Apparently this is really nice and well-made bits of kit. It feels nice. Aluminium and lovely. So this is the bit I'm interested in, is these cells here. I'm guessing this whole thing's going to happily drop out of there once I fill the thing with brake cleans, but it's all stuck in. Yeah, I see more tape. So let's just loosen that up. Swimming in there, that is. Lovely. Oh, hello. Out it comes. Hopefully that's going to start loosening everything up. Let's have a bit of a pry. Now we shouldn't pry with anything metal, obviously. Let me see if I can find a plastic thing. That phone spudger jobby might do the trick. It's not feeling very loose there. I'm going to do some prying. Okay, didn't actually take much prying. I just pushed down here and everything started to come out. So hopefully that's all I need to do. And somehow I need to get this side out. This prying tool is useless. There we are. Look at that. There's your pack of cells. Come out that way. That can come out. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cells. Let's see how they're connected together, shall we? Okay, so we've got some clear heat shrink around the lot of it. slice that off. It goes without saying, never do this. You'll blow up your fingers, your house and your loved ones, and you'll regret it for the rest of your life, which will be very short because this will explode and give you all the harm in the world. Don't do what I do and all that. We've got a bit of silicone here, got that there, a little bit of a... Ugh. It's all stuck. Sticky pads are great until you want to take something apart, then it's just really annoying. This is going to take me a minute. Bear with me. Okay, so I think I figured it out. We've got our main negative here. Looks to be 4s2p. So our negatives here, and then the positives join to the negatives of the next group. They go through here. And then those positives there are joined, I don't need to take this apart to see it, to the negative of these ones. Those go through the cell, positives join to the next one. That's how we get our 4s2p group. So, if I can replicate that, leave some little tabs up here, solder my balance wires on, we'll be all good to go. I'm probably not going to show you the process because it's a little bit irrelevant. Basically, I'm replicating this. We're going to join these two bits here with the nickel strip. We're going to join the next ones, and there'll be 4 together that will join like that. And then we're going to join the next ones, and they're going to go together like that, and I'll be able to build it in a little block like this, and then just unfold it into what I desire. For the sake of time, I'm probably not going to show all that. It's not very exciting anyway. And then of course insulation between things. So in this case they've used foam padding. I'm going to use probably some barley paper or something like that, or maybe a bit of foam if I've got anything thin enough. I've got some of this which is pretty thin. I might be able to make up something that's pretty close. So that's what I'm going to do. And I've got my new cells here. I've got 8. They are LG-MH1, which spec-wise is basically identical to the Samsungs that are in there. These were available. Those are really hard to get, at least here in the UK, at a price that they should cost. So yeah, I'm going to start doing that, and I'll get back to you maybe somewhere during the process. So I ended up cutting some nickel strip, and then I found I've got these super handy things, which I got from AliExpress, and they are exactly what I need. Look at that. Just pre-cut little neat tabs, very much like what they've got there. The only difference is they've got their balance leads on the outer corners here, or inner corners, so they're a bit more hidden, and it's all going to go together better, and mine are going to end up slightly in a different place. It should be very low profile anyway. I don't think it's going to make much difference. If it does, I'll take it apart and do it again, won't I? But just using my little... Wow. Can't make that up, can you? The air compressor decided that was exactly the moment it had to go off. But yeah, I'm using my Do-Create, I don't know how you say it, spot welder, because it's right here. I don't have to move the camera to go and film it, none of that. It's just here and it's done and it's easy. So the way I'm doing these is I'm just replicating exactly what was on the other side. So that's how they were joined together. So that's how I'm joining them together. So I've put my negatives up the same way and my positives up the same way, and I'm just doing the same thing. Should be relatively painless and easy, and I can get these lined up like that. So if it moves ever so slightly like that, you can always rotate it on your first, the first ones you do. Let's get them central again. Like that, and I always like to do a bit of a pull test on the tabs and stuff and see if I can lift everything up. They're not about to come off. This can be, it's alright, it can be a little bit iffy sometimes with cell connection wise. So, If I flip this over, I'm flipping it over away from me. I'm going to get this one, I'm going to flip it over away from me, so this is the new pack I'm building. Move over. I can make sure I do this the same way. And join that one up that way, like that, so that's all identical. There's that, and then I've just got these two lots of strips to do. So for that I'm going to use this stuff, which is thicker single nickel, and I'm just going to make a strip like that that's long enough to go between the two. And then what I think I'll do is probably just cut it down, maybe. So distance wise you're about that far over off the edge of the cell, so I think length wise I'm going to want two strips of this length. There's a bit of a fold that goes on with it as well, I think. So we'll make them the same length. That should help. And then I'm going to have to trim these down to they're that thickness. Do I put it off centre? No, probably not. So maybe I could mark whereabouts I want to start my trimming. That on there, it's got to be about that long, and the trimming wants to start from there. Excuse the sniffling, I've got a bit of a runny nose today, it's happening to me. And then I guess we'll take off a bit there, and a bit there, and a bit there, and a bit there, and we'll be left with a thinner strip somewhere along the middle. I don't suppose it needs to be hugely exact. This is thicker nickel than what they're using here, so I don't think it will matter too much. Let's see what that's come out like. Poorly? Poorly is the answer to that. Nope. I need to cut a lot less off than I thought I did. But that's okay, practice and all that. It's a bit more like it. It's not neat, but it's a little bit irrelevant if it's neat or not. That should... exactly the same thickness, look at that. Beautiful. Let's cut ourselves a new bit for that second piece here. And then we go about that far down. I really don't want to cut off as much as I thought I did the first time. There we go, that should be a bit more like it, thickness wise. Bang on, beautiful. Right, and they're facing this way towards me. I should be able to spot weld those on there. Now, I've got a funny feeling the dough crate's not going to like spot welding this nickel. I'll try it and see, but I don't think it's going to. Nope, I thought not. I've got this lovely, super handy handheld one that will spot weld the nickel easily without having to go to the big new machine. said it's a 13 millisecond pulse. This thing, you can buy them on AliExpress. They normally look a bit more like that. It's basically a gigantic LiFePO4 battery strapped to the back of a really cheap spot welding system, and they just work. They just dump power. It's kind of convenient, to be honest. I really quite like them. My one's got its quirks. You've got to hold this one in a very particular way for it to actually weld nowadays, but it's been very well used, and that actually holds now, which is great. So the same for this side on the negative, like that. There we go. So theoretically, I have repaired this pack. Okay, after that brief sneezing fit that nobody wanted to listen to, let's have a little go at turning that off. Let's have a little go at assembling this to look a little more like this, shall we? So, we're going to need to get some barley paper on that and on there. I'm sure I had a little scrap lying around somewhere. Is that big enough to do anything? No, not really. Let's cut a fresh section, shall we? So width-wise, we're going to want to be, a bit of juice on there, snot, apple juice. Who could say? Anyway, width-wise, going to want to be about that wide. Cut that in something vaguely resembling a straight line and see how that looks. I don't think I'm straight on this edge, actually, but just trim it somewhat straight. That'll be fine. Okay, so we want to be covering these up. It's not wide enough, is it? Really? It's just the very long and short of that. So let's do it a bit wider. To about there. A bit more like it, isn't it? Right. Like that. Get that stuck on there. There's one. This bit doesn't actually touch anything, so it's all fine. And we'll want a couple of bits for all these. On there, just fold you over for a minute. And I'll need just one more of those. Like that. Right. So we're going to want a bit more barley paper to go in here. Could just do one of those again, couldn't we? We'll want one on the other side. Now 2 layers of this might make it a bit too tight. I might end up having to take one of the layers off, but we'll see once it all starts thinking about going. And my nose is dripping on the table. Do apologise, blue roll time. Lovely, great fun being unwell, isn't it? And let's pop you on there like that. There we go. We should be able to fold that up and over. Push that down nice and tight. And do the same thing with this side. Don't short those out. Push that down nice and tight. Now, I think I'd be a big fan of having a bit of insulation between our two groups here. I don't think, in the space I've got available, I'm going to get a bit of barley paper down there, but I could certainly get some Kapton tape, which I think would be nice. Width-wise, what have we got this one? This tape should be plenty wide. Now, are they all squeezed together? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that'll definitely work. Okay, let's cut that there and cut that there. Be able to fold the tape over there. Okay, so we can see that the centre's bowing out a bit there once closing up, but that'll happen when I put my sort of final layer of tape on. I'm just going to make sure it all fits first, because if I've got too many layers of stuff all around it, it's not going to. Or when I bent the strips over, if they've not gone straight like that, they've ended up a bit like that, it's all going to not fit in the space I've got available. Trim this tape off here. Okay, and then I'll need a bit of barley paper here and a bit of barley paper there. Or the same bit. I like the idea of the same bit. Force me to get it all relatively close together then, won't it? Okay. It almost fits. Right, let's see if you look like you're going to go in there, shall we? That's a yes. Look at that. Excellent news. Excellent news. Good. So if I make this back to its original shape, I'll be able to copy how I've got the how they originally had the balance wires. Excuse me. Excellent. That all seems alright. So we've got our plus and our minus. Like that. It's all labelled up. Okay, so I'm going to have to take these off. If I get that way up, that's all exactly the same way round, and I'll spin it over so that everything I'm working on is still the same way round. And let's tin these tabs. I know the tabs are bigger than they originally were. It's fine. I think we've got a bit of room to work in the case, and why not make it easy if I can? Previously all the wiring ran up the centre there, but it shouldn't matter. There's a bit of squeeze room in the case. I think it'll just move around and be quite alright. Okay, so the white one goes down the bottom here. There we go. That's one. The yellow one goes. Come on. Okay, over here. And then that one. Can I pull you off, or are you very stuck on there? Oh no, that's easy. The green one goes there. Oh, my eyeballs are struggling. God, I must have an allergy to something. Do not feel great. Okay. Let's get these away with. Put them over somewhere else. The wrong time for the drippy nose. So sorry. Okay, and then I'll just get everything all covered up with a bit of barley paper. Just one bit there. Keep that one. Put one bit there. And one bit there. There we go. I think we should be all ready for some better tape around it all. I might just use, I've got this stuff, it's a fibre tape. And it's pretty much going to be perfect just to cover the entire thing in one go. Just about. And hold it all together. So let's get that applied there. Just like that. Get that squeezed nice and tight. Just like that. Okay. Hopefully now I've got a bit of heat shrink that's small enough to go up and over this. Gonna have a little look in my box of stuff. I do indeed. There's that. I'm gonna go over everything, I think, and then just cut around where I don't want it, which will obviously be the discharge wires around here, and I've got to still get my temp sensor in there as well. So I guess somewhere around there will be fine. Okay, I don't really like the seat shrink because it's really thin and it runkles up like that, which looks a bit horrible. But it's what I've got. There we go, maybe that rest of that will shrink down a bit now. A little bit, it'll be fine. Okay, I'm going to have to make a little incision up here. I think for the temperature sensor anyway. There we go, then I've got a bit of room to get into it. Okay, so let's stick this back on here, see if it works, shall we? How's that for balance? Terrible. Okay, so, as far as I can tell, as far as I remember, that went up there, like that. Let's just check. Yeah. That all went up there. That all just fit somehow. I think I'm going to have to chop these off. I reckon, bear with me, and I'll put this back together. Alright, I got it back together. It did fit. It was a little bit of a squeeze, but it did fit. So we do have that bit of room like I thought, which is nice. And let's see, if I fold these tabs up and over and solder them on, does it blow up? They're not long enough. Ha! Oh, they are long enough. I've just got to pull them a little bit. It's fine. Don't worry about it. They're plenty long enough. I'm not crazy. They're just sandwiched down by a bit of the barley paper there. But there's a lot more length to them. Let's get that temp sensor pushed out my way for a second. Okay. Soldering iron, tweezers. Maybe a bit of solder on here. That's what I need. Tin my iron. There we go, there's one. Lovely. Right. Please don't go bang. Oh, so much confidence, eh? Didn't go bang. So that's a good thing, I suppose. Tin my iron. Make sure that's not in the way. I feel like I need some flux. Just to be absorbing an awful lot of heat and not doing a lot of soldering. Stick a bit of flux on there. I want to hear it sizzle. There you go, look, that feels like soldering. Much better. There we go, right, does it turn on? Pushy thing. Pushy thing? I had a tiny screwdriver, I know, because I scratched the button with it. There we go. Nothing, okay. Reset button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, nothing on the reset button. Nothing on that. Does it just need plugging in to see if it will reset? Let's have a look. Oh, turns on. So that's always good. It's taking half an amp charge. 0.6 amps charge. Cell voltages are 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. That sounds good to me. Does it turn off straight away? Huh, no, there we go. Look at that. Only 11 cycles. Temperature, timer, display sleep, power off, exit. Long press to confirm. That seems to be working to me. Look at that. I don't know if that 6 is in 6%. It might have to fully charge and fully discharge in order to sort of register its capacity, but if I charge that, hopefully that 6 number is going to go up to a different number. Okay, at least you're focused again now, in my incredibly shaky hand that's just doing that. Is it going to go up? I'm going to have to wait and see, I think. But it would seem as though that works. I've got here a little output tester. So if I unplug the input and I plug in the output tester here, there you go. Oh, it's got to be upside down now. That there will register focus. There you go. That it's showing power. What have we got on here? USB-C. What can I charge that's USB-C? This phone will do nicely. Bike repairs. There you go, like 74% on the phone. And you can see from our USB-A port we've got, come on, focus. There you go. 1.286 amps coming out. And this, oh, it stopped. Why has it stopped? Just stopped. It's not good. Oh, probably a dodgy connection here then. Yeah, it's going back and forth on this probably. But yeah, that seems to work, which is great. So you can repair one of these. Obviously, reassemblies are reverse of removal and all that fun stuff. So that goes back on that way. The button and the facade goes back on, 4 screws in the end, battery pack works again. So you can resell one of these, which is very exciting, isn't it? So yeah, if this helped you out, or something like that, obviously you're not going to do this yourself because that would be very bad. Don't try this at home and all that. If it was interesting though, please feel free to leave a like, you can share the video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. It costs you 99 cents a month. I get a shockingly small quantity of that, but it does inspire me to keep making these videos for you guys. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.